petang berarak di celah pohon cemara. Pemanis kalam, selamat datang. Awal bismillah, pembuka bicara. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hadirin sekalian, marilah sama-sama kita buka majlis kita pada hari ini dengan bacaan Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Yang berusaha Puan Norma binti Bajuria, Ketua Jabatan Kecemerlangan Akademik Institut Pendidikan Guru Kampus Datuk Razali Ismail. Yang dihormati Encik Muhammad Syafiruddin bin Mustafa, Wakil dari Malaysian Global Innovation and Creativity Centre MAGIC, Ketua-Ketua Kluster, Ketua-Ketua Jabatan, Ketua-Ketua Unit, Pensyarah-pensyarah kanan, para pensyarah Institut Pendidikan Guru Kampus Datuk Razali Ismail, guru-guru serta hadirin hadirat yang dikasihi sekalian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan salam Malaysia baru. Alhamdulillah, syukur kita kehadrat Ilahi kerana dengan limpah dan izinnya dapat kita berkumpul pada pagi ini. Pihak majlis mengucapkan terima kasih dan dialu-alukan kehadiran tuan-tuan ke Bicara Revolusi Industri 4.0 bersama MAGIC. Hadirin sekalian, Malaysian Global Innovation and Creativity Centre atau lebih dikenali sebagai MAGIC merupakan satu pusat inovasi dan kreativiti yang berpusat di Persiaran APEC, Cyberjaya, Selangor, Malaysia. MAGIC ditubuhkan dengan visi untuk menjadi pusat kreativiti dan inovasi yang utama untuk usahawan serta mempunyai misi untuk membantu meningkatkan kreativiti dan inovasi bagi kesan jangka masa panjang buat negara di samping mewujudkan ekosistem keusahawanan yang stabil dan teguh. Hadirin sekalian, kata orang, tak kenal maka tak cinta. Oleh itu, suka kiranya saya membacakan sedikit sebanyak biodata penceramah kita pada hari ini. Encik Muhammad Syafiruddin merupakan anak kelahiran negeri Perak, Perlis. Beliau mempunyai kelulusan ijazah TESOL dari UiTM Selangor dan kini menjawat jawatan sebagai Digital Content Creator dan Ecosystem Research Analyst di MAGIC. Seterusnya, tanpa membuang masa lagi, majlis dengan segala hormatnya mempersilakan Encik Muhammad Syafiruddin untuk menyampaikan ceramah beliau. Majlis dengan sukacitanya mempersilakan.
Then fast forward after that school punya period, saya mengajar Mandarin pula dekat Industri BJ dekat Perdana Jaya. So I can actually speak 6 to 7 languages. And 14 languages kalau you consider programming languages lah. So that is my skill set, and I learned that skill set when I was still in university. So I'm an outlier, but I can help you, tell you from the years that I've actually involved in self-learning to prepare your students so that they can actually future-proof them from the future lah. So that's the, kalau tengok actually session ni is future-proofing your students. Okay? So I'm going to go through, ada dua part kat sini. Satu is I akan cerita pasal MAGIC. Dua, I akan basically tell you the methodologies that I actually gone through alone. Back then tak ada compilation, so I basically compile this untuk for you guys specifically. Slide yang you guys are looking at are the slide yang original. Bukan dekat UKM, dekat Inovasi, waktu yang Karnival Inovasi UKM tahun lepas tu, bukan so lain sikit. So as we go along, kita akan guna platform Slido untuk bertanya soalan. Jadi at the end of the session, saya akan cuba tanya soalan, jawab soalan tu satu persatu lah. Kalau ada soalan yang dah memang nak tanya tapi orang lain dah tanya, boleh thumbs up. Jadi saya boleh tanya soalan tu. Soalan tu akan dinaikkan sebagai priority lah. Boleh? Okay, cool? Clear? Super cool? Kucing pun nak datang belajar juga. Biarkan dia. Alright? Okay. So MAGIC. Malaysian Global Innovation and Creativity Centre, kita adalah satu government funded agency. Previously, in the previous government, we are under the Ministry of Finance. Dan bila kerajaan tukar on May 9, historic event that basically turned everything like upside down, because we have never changed government for the past 60 years. And it's something that is uncharted territory. But thankfully, I would boleh katalah dalam hati, Magic is one of those government agency that survive that government change. So sekarang ni kita di bawah Kementerian Pembangunan Usahawan. Okay. So we were established by President Barack Obama in 2014, and also by the Prime Minister, the previous Prime Minister. So this is day to day kita dekat Magic.
Lawan ambil pun apa? Lawan ambil. Awak ni naik atas. Gitu. Ni ambil kerana yang atau sikit. Duduk kena berada. Sebab benda ni dia tak berapa okey lah. Kena gerak je nak sedu kan. Ikut dia tawar dia.
So hopefully dalam video tu boleh bagi tahulah apa sedikit sebanyak apa tu Magic buat. So we do education on entrepreneurship. Simple as that. We establish on Global and Creativity Centre. We memang biar benda tu jadi sejurang-jurang big. Gila box. Okay. Maksudnya because you can't define what is innovation and creativity. So we let that question answered as an individual, as a company. So this is some example of startups that actually gone through kita orang. But paling famous lah. Oh sorry, go back. Paling famous, siapa pernah naik Grab? Okay. Grab actually started from Magic. They started in 2014. They started as My Taxi. Waktu tu Uber baru masuk Malaysia, and they wanted to actually become Uber. But kita orang kata dekat diorang, so they actually gone through our courses called Distro Dojo, which is a growth hacking punya course, about 3 to 4 weeks. And kita orang cakap dekat diorang, sentiment Malaysia dan juga Southeast Asia is not like Uber. Sebab Uber came from the Western countries that they don't really care much about laws. So we decided to say, hey, you need to go in a different route. So after several weeks, after several months, now look where they are. They are actually valued at more than 60 billion USD. So that's quite actually a lot. So let me tell you about Katsana juga. Katsana, sekarang ni Malaysia is actually, kalau tengok ratio, right? 1 person to 4 cars. That is the amount of cars in Malaysia. So I love data. So that's the reason why I stopped teaching. Not to say that I stopped teaching fully, just that I teach things on a different thing. So from the skill set that I learned, I basically learned to how to storify data in my daily work. So Katsana decided there's a demand untuk security in terms of car safety. Kereta selalu curi apa semua pakai. So they just invented this simple app, simple device that you can actually hide in your car, and you could actually track your car kalau kereta hilang using your phone. And from there, you basically boleh buat, go to the police, look, my car is moving without me, So that is an example. So to consumer base. And then dia tengok juga from business point of view that boleh buat untuk tracking untuk lorries, tracking untuk bus. So right now they're working on that to improve a lot of facilities that is being provided. So those are the things that we actually taught. Bukan nak bangga lah kata, because we base they can actually came from us. Okay. Then Pangtan Plus. Pangtan Plus ni untuk newlyweds or newly parents. Kalau contohnya sekarang susah nak cari mak bidan apa semua bagai kan, dia orang senang je. Dia orang kumpul nama-nama mak bidan apa semua, letak dalam website, and then you boleh nego. Okay, harga kat mana, ikut location kat mana, based on what. So that is Pangtan Plus also. And they actually just recently baru dapat funding about 1.2 million ringgit. So maksudnya ada demand dekat situ, because dekat Inovasi, in Western countries, confinement doesn't exist. I mean, the culture of confinement only exists in South Asia. So they see that value after a course with us. Then jom parking. Jom parking easy. Kalau you ada kereta, pergi shopping mall, susah nak cari parking, jom parking boleh you book parking tu awal-awal guna your app. Dan juga surf. Surf disebabkan the ratio of one person to 4 cars is basically that time untuk you pergi dekat foreman, pergi dekat mechanics tak cukup, right? So they thought, why not we get the people who own cars to call the mechanics to them, ikut time yang diorang boleh. So kalau cikgu tengah mengajar, ada mekanik boleh datang dekat dalam sekolah, bawa dekat dalam motor, and then they actually do a preventive maintenance. So what does that mean by preventive maintenance? Is that they do preliminary checkups, macam health check lah untuk kereta, whether or not do you need to go to full checkup untuk kereta you. So that is what Magic has been teaching these startups. We let entrepreneurs, if you have ideas to actually come up with an idea of doing business, to think differently. Instead of macam mana nak jual tudung, you know, nak jual kuih muih dekat pinggir jalan, how do you use technology to start integrating it? Okay. You don't have to actually tulis any notes, sebab nanti dekat at the end of the slide akan ada link untuk you guys download the slide, including all the links. So just sit back, relax, enjoy, tanya soalan. Okay. Oh, and then sesi kedua nanti akan ada some kerja kolah tau. Kita akan buat exercise sikit. Sebab kan kita ni student, we are basically teachers and also students. For us to be good teachers, we need to also learn, correct? So be open-minded to actually learn new things. Okay. So this is one of these are several initiatives that kita buat lah. Magic Global Accelerator Program is our boot camp for 4 months. Diorang datang duduk dekat Magic 4 bulan. Kita drill so that they become investment ready. Then we have Magic Academy, where a group of teams that will also could from background cikgu-cikgu juga, that they are looking into sourcing the best of entrepreneurship education. And in 2017, we decided to actually, hey, Magic tak ramai orang nak datang kat cyber. So we decided want to actually further our reach to individual states. So kita decided buka dekat Sarawak dahulu. That's our first steps in actually making a state-wide punya foothold. But then government tukar, so we had to put that on hold lah. So sekarang ni kita ada satu branch je dekat Sarawak, which is dekat Kuching. Ada orang asal dari Kuching tak kat sini? Ada. Never mind. So this is a video on GAP, Global Accelerator Program.
Gap for me is all about the supports. a small startup business, I think the support you get in GAP is the most crucial and most important.
This program instigates the growth for a future of international collaborations and connections for entrepreneurs worldwide.
You meet a lot of people that have so many different experiences in one accelerator, which is, I think, the best thing about this place.
GAP is awesome, right? It's really awesome due to the fact that we were able to meet lots of cool people, the participants, mentors, and the GAP team themselves. And these people were actually the ones that actually help us accelerate our growth from day one up until now. And hopefully we'll be able to do a lot more in the future.
I think it enhances your leadership skills and you become bolder. I would say that every day we grow and we learn.
We did not expect to be taught the way we are every week at GAP. And like in the beginning we were a bit apprehensive, but I think at the end what we realized, like more than halfway into the program, how good it has been for us, especially the way we started our startup. It wasn't as structured as it should have been, so I think these classes have really helped us.
Because GAP helps you to speed up your startup growth.
It's home for every startup. They communicate each other, help each other. So that is why I think the magic is home.
So when Magic started, we believe that we need to bring external technologies from overseas. So our previous CEO, Shahrul Yeo, she basically had 15 years experience in the Silicon Valley, which is the reason why when our first 2 years, she established connection, bridging Magic as basically the gateway to the region. So GAP previously was not GAP. It was previously Malaysian accelerator program that focuses on Southeast Asia. Now it's global. Not to say that previously, like the global startups, ada sama, but it's more prominent now. This is actually one of the community initiatives that we have. First, we have coffee chats and grow chill. So this is considered coffee chat. So we believe that we need to make things informal. Which is the reason why kalau you tengok cara pakaian, even though we're government agencies, this is how I go to work every day. So our culture in Magic, we believe that if comfortable employees becomes happy employees, they become productive employees. So they allow us to wear however we like. So for those students, kalau tak nak cikgu, boleh hantar resume ke kita orang tau. Alright, so that is one. So another platform is Grill or Chill. So Grill or Chill is where startups are invited to pitch in front of potential investors and also industrial experts. So they would actually be grilled, ditanya soalan as if they were being invested at that point. So when you are being grilled, because when you started developing your ideas and you starting developing your business, you tend to get hold. Orang kata baby you lah katanya kan, because you buat benda baru. So you tend to not look at what things that you're supposed to be concentrating on. So Grill or Chill allows that platform to break apart. It's nothing personal, it's just business. Then we have Spark. This is where it's interesting. Spark is a community event that we send out a team to IBGs, to universities, to colleges, so that we would inspire them to think beyond what they study, to look at entrepreneurship as an opportunity. Because I'm an outlier. Because I studied to become a teacher. I tried to make change in school. I tried to make change in universities, but I can't. There's just so much bureaucracy. I think cikgu-cikgu boleh ni kan. Even nak dapatkan cikgu-cikgu duduk kat sini pun hantar surat ke JPN, turun ke bawah baru sampai ke sekolah. Pun belum penuh lagi dewan. And that is an example of how long the industry has been stagnant. There's no innovation or creativity. So Magic helps breaking that part individually so that you can actually start from your classrooms. So Spark boleh invite to your to IPGs untuk datang, tell the students saying that hey, you don't have to become teachers. You can think an option, because the thing about, for me, I think teachers are the best learners, because they basically can absorb and they know how to actually hack your brain in terms of getting new skill sets, Bloom's taxonomy and whatnot, right? And then we have Idea Lab. Idea Lab ni is a shorter span of 1 to 2 days of getting ideas into becoming a viable product. So they're a smaller scale of gap. This is our partnership with other government agencies and corporates. I won't go into deeper because it's not related to what you are doing. These are the tools and facilities that we provide. Okay, so we have co-working space. In 2014, co-working space, the idea of sharing a office space with other businesses, have never heard of. So we started it. Magic actually started the idea of a co-working space in the region. So then from there, since 2014, ramai je buat. Ada common ground, ada launchpad, ada work. So they try to monetize in terms of macam dewan ni, setiap satu meja, setiap satu row, satu team. So they bootstrap. You don't have to pay the whole building, you don't have to pay the rent, you don't have to pay for internet, you don't have to pay for printing as well. So Magic actually started that as well. Then we have Magic Central. So Magic Central is basically our machine learning and data management dekat Magic. So right now, you guys are a part of Magic Central. So because you guys actually gone through Magic punya some sort of event. So if kalau you guys datang balik dekat Magic, we know where you came from. So macam cikgu datang kan. So cikgu datang dekat Magic atau basically get in touch with us, we know where the pinpoint of information started. Because we want to see the development of individuals from becoming just an aspiring entrepreneur to become a fully fledged entrepreneur. Then we have Startup Database. Startup Database ni, you guys can log in, boleh tengok, because this is a crowdsourcing punya database. Then we have ASEAN Center of Entrepreneurship. So when we first started, we believe that businesses, entrepreneurship, should not be fearful of sharing ideas. And collaboration need to be instilled. Do you know dalam World Bank Index of Malaysian trust towards each other, tengok kiri, tengok kanan, we have the lowest rate of trust among each other within the region. Singaporeans trust Singaporeans better than we trust Malaysians. And that is something that we need to improve. Because World Bank actually sit down with 10,000 people, ask them questions, do you trust people with your life? Malaysians, specifically. And they say no. And that is something that I think should start from schools, right? Because, and in Magic, we believe that the whole building is a safe zone. I pernah tinggal laptop I dekat lobby, which is accessible by the public, for a whole day, tak hilang. And that is how we want to inculcate the idea of co-collaboration, the feeling of trust. So the thing about kalau you ada idea and then you takut nak share dengan orang, because of this is the number one reason why people don't want to share ideas, sebab nanti dia curi idea I. Right? Siapa kata yes tu? Okay, now I'm going to tell you something, that even though your idea got stolen, does not mean that that person who stole your idea can actually reach to the end of the line. because they do not have the passion. You do. So if you created an idea, don't be afraid to share. Because here's the thing, to twist it around, looking in a better perspective, kalau you punya idea kena curi online buat dulu, duduk, you tengok, you study dia. He or she bound to make mistakes. From there, you learn. My mom always kata, experience, kenapa aku suka baca buku ni? Tak payah baca buku, pergi buat. You know? And my mom hate books, which I love books, ironically. I follow my late dad. So, I believe books are collections of mistakes that you can actually learn from other people. So why make mistakes when you actually learn from other people? So that's a key point. Kalau your idea kena curi, okay, sit back, enjoy, tengok dia macam mana dia buat. But also don't stop. Don't stop just because orang lain curi, you tak buat you punya idea. Continue on developing your idea because that person might not have the full idea. Faham tak? Okay? So, we actually established ASEAN Center of Entrepreneurship, and during 2014, we established connections in Southeast Asia, in ASEAN countries specifically. So, our previous CEO, kita cari agency yang macam Magic dekat dalam Indonesia dan Singapore, dalam Thailand, dalam Vietnam. We established, hey, you guys want to come to Malaysia? Contact us. If you want to go to your country, we contact you. And we have that bilateral understanding. So last year kita ada 10 startups came from Vietnam, established here, and we had 10 startups to Vietnam. So those are the things that we should start doing as well. Same goes with you guys. I mean, teachers, start sharing notes. Start sharing notes not just among your friends, but also among schools. And think of how do you actually have a standardized knowledge base in terms of teaching. And that is something that we can actually help, right? Then our biggest, my proudest lah, I would say, mentorship platform. So mentorship platform is that we actually provided 30 minutes sit down with you. Kalau tak dapat datang Cyberjaya, boleh book online. You can ask us anything. Mentorship is a platform as a support group to help entrepreneurs because once you become an entrepreneur, you make sacrifices. Your friends started calling you, sombong lah dia, tak nak keluar lepak minum apa semua, tak nak duduk dekat warung apa semua, because you are trying to solve the world's problems, right? So, and it gets lonely. So, Magic Mentorship provides an opportunity for you to have a support group. So, kita tak just bersembang pasal pasal business. We also sembang about you, emotionally, physically, and mentally. Because we believe that that is something that we treat you as human beings, not as numbers. We don't treat you as products. And problems with businesses right now, they don't have any heart. And we want you to have heart. That's the new type of business. So I tunjuk you some promo video. That's me. Satu orang pendek. So, you guys can actually book a mentorship platform. It's open for public, tak perlu bayar. And then you guys just can actually video chat dengan kita orang. Ask anything. Anything. When I say anything, it literally means anything. Okay? I have to emphasize that because they want ingat kita buat mentorship platform buat business saja. No, it's a support group. Okay? And we first started this 2 years ago with just magicians. Oh, we call ourselves magicians stuff. Pretty cool, right? So, and then the thing about Magic, we don't hire people who have never done business before. So back in university, I pun pernah buat 2 business. 2 of those business failed and put me in the debt about 600,000 K, ringgit. But I got that back in 6 months. Repaid that back, and then I stayed away from the industry altogether because it scared me to death, right? So But from that experience, I can actually teach you what that you can actually avoid. You know, trusting the right person. Don't make business with your friends. Those are the things that you should take notes lah. So we started with just magicians. Now we actually going to onboard 300 mentors that is not kerja dengan magic, but industrial experts. Meaning you have access to topic experts that are not paid, who actually dedicated 30 minutes of volunteering time to sit down with you and develop your idea, and sometimes probably get to know you. I have one mentee that actually datang dekat I on a Friday evening, that wife dia tengah sarat mengandung dekat hospital Jaya, and I felt uncomfortable because dia tak reschedule. So we actually talked about that, where he booked my time for other things, and this is his 7th kid. So anak ketujuh, dia buat Grab driving, and then they are the consulting firm. So those are the things that I, as you know, experienced as a mentor. I also am a mentor. Promote kejap. So my skill set is that my background even is in TESOL, teaching English as a second language. I can actually, for students, if you guys need presentation skills, I can tell you exactly how to get A. Alright? So I know how, because I used to be at your position, and I used to be the teaching punya position. And the only one thing that when lecturer bagi you macam mana nak buat kerja, suruh bagi presentation, rarely a student tanya, "Sir, madam, miss, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by presentation?" Betul tak? Right, lecturer? So, you need to ask that question. That's the number one question. Because once there, you know what that audience, which is your lecturer, wants you to present. Okay? Cool? That is one skill set lah. Second skill set, presentation skills untuk pitching, untuk dapat investors, because I used to be part of the panels yang vetted people untuk filter sebelum dapat call back untuk investment. I also part of that panel as well. And also I juga buat data. That computer is basically gonna replace me in 2 years. Because I basically built a data algorithm that doing my work in the background as I presented. And same goes, in 2030, teachers will become facilitators. AI will become the new educators, because teachers are going to answer questions, big questions, like, is there God? What is ethics? What is morale? Where computers will not be able to answer yet. The keyword there, yet. But repetitive questions, such as what is theorem, Pythagoras theorem and whatnot, what is this angle AB, tolak ni, computers can do that now. And it will individualize, personalize to you guys, students. So meaning that you boleh belajar on your own pace, and you tak boleh copy notes daripada kawan you, because the notes is specifically on how you learn. Because the computer learn how you learn. And that is being developed now. This is the startups this is the numbers lah. Okay? As early 2018, we impacted about 900-ish, 800-ish startups, and 78,000 entrepreneurs. So we separate them, because sometimes one person can actually have 2 to 3 startups. That's the reason why we separate the numbers. Again, this is the quotes yang kita from our startups. And then you probably heard about social enterprise, correct? So apa itu social enterprise? So social enterprise is that normal businesses, their bottom line is how do you get profit. But kalau dalam social enterprise, how do you maintain profit but also improve the livelihood of the society and environment? So that is social enterprise, basic explanation. So Picha project is actually one of our prize startups, because they help with refugees that actually bekerja, refugees that is currently in Malaysia. Now, one thing that you have to understand about refugees in Malaysia is that Malaysia as a government, we do not recognize refugees. We do not sign the Geneva Convention that specifically allowed refugees to seek refuge and get jobs here. So when people actually, naik sampan apa semua to seek refuge in Malaysia, they're stuck. Because Malaysia doesn't recognize them professionally, can't provide them, they can't open a bank. So how do we help them? So Bicara project come up with an idea, basically get among these refugees, get them cook native food and sell them out to Malaysians. And on that box are the stories about who actually created those food, right? And then they share the profit with the refugees. And they do it this in a very good way that it doesn't hurt normal businesses. Because if, for example, boleh je orang actually report dia orang and then they have to close down because they are actually employing refugees illegally, right? But they are working with Wisma Putra to make sure that we recognize refugees, and that is their long-term goal. So that's the new kind of doing business. If you wanted to do business, how do you improve environment and society? So if you want to do business, start looking into social enterprise. So this is a social enterprise punya video.
We work with women in low-income housing areas. We provide training and seamstress skills for them. And then once they reach an attainable level, we provide income opportunities for them to work with us.
What we want to do is make sure Socket exists beyond this generation. Our Treasures is giving opportunity to our angels with the learning disabilities to live a normal life, at the same time train them to become artisan.
Daripada pengalaman saya merancang di luar negara, saya nampak banyak opportunity yang boleh dibangun dan dikatakan produk kami. Jadi saya rasa program ini adalah salah satu solusi untuk membangunkan balik bangsa ini.
We pledge to give 100% of our dividends to charities. Hence, people using our products can support charities from the comforts of their home.
And for the past 2 years, our trainees have impacted more than 10,000 Malaysians through their stories of how they overcome their own darkness.
What we're known for is for turning waste into consumer product. We are trying to counter this consumer-driven society that we live in.
When we brought in these marginalized adults to train with us, I can see a drastic change between when they first came, their confidence levels, how they speak, and then by the time they left us, a total change in character, and I think that's it makes me smile.
In the Magic Amplify Award, மூலியமா எங்களால பல பேருக்கு குறிப்பா தனித்து வாழும் தாய்மார்களுக்கும் இங்க வசிக்கிற ஆளுங்களுக்கும் உதவி செய்ய முடியும். அவங்க வாழ்க்கை தரத்தை உயர்த்துறதுக்கும் அவங்க வருமானத்தை பெருக்கிறதுக்கும் எங்களால செய்ய முடியும்.
With Magic Amplify Awards, we'll be able to scale our business by providing more training, employing more women, and eventually touching more lives.
So social enterprise is the new sexy business type, Yeah, I had to use that word sexy is because people like to feel good. So what better way to feel good than to help others? Honestly lah, honest niat tu biar niat betul. Janganlah you masuk business social enterprise because you nak tolong orang and then you nak pergi dekat media, hi, I got social enterprise. Thank you. No, it doesn't work that way. All of that people that you see are very honest, very passionate in what they believe in, right? In helping B40s, in helping marginalized communities, stateless children. These are things that you could actually look into, okay? So that's the end of Magic punya section. Okay, now we're going to go into future-proof your students. So basically, this is more to future-proofing yourself, your school, and your students. So if your students, basically you guys lah, right? So we're going to go into that. Again, please use this question. Tadi I was going through the question, some actually asked a question, I think I tak sebut kot. Mentorship is free. Free. No asterisk, no terms and condition, is free. Yeah? So you could use it again and 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 again. Okay? Without concern that magic akan letak duit ke lebah. Tak. No. Put pricing, no. Because we are a government subsidized ni, memang establishment magic are not profit driven. So we work like a startup, but we also work like an SE as well. So we embodied everything that we teach. So may I proceed in the next session? Do we need to take a break ke apa ke? Toilet kat belakang? Take a deep breather kejap? Okay? Because right now we are going into trends within the education sector. Before we actually go into the education sector, I'm going to give you an overview of what will happen in the next 31 years. An overview what will happen in 2050 or 2030. Right? 2030 is the new number that semua orang tengah constitute sekarang ni. Bukan 2020. Sebab 2020 ada lagi 2 tahun. That's it. Enough time. 1.5 years. Thank you for correcting me. So those are the new numbers that memang kita sekarang ni tengah go into, right? In 2030, the coastal cities and island nations will start to have to evacuate because of global climate change. And that would increase refugee situation. Is there a demand and opportunity there? Yes, there is. Because government are ill-equipped to handle that kind of thing. Now, example of island cities are probably Pulau Redang, Pulau Tioman, Maldives, Mauritius, Pelabuhan Kelang, Kuching. I'm not surprised kalau Terengganu pun affected, because Terengganu is actually at a very from the sea level, and look at the flash floods that you guys actually face on an annual basis. That will get worse. Is there an opportunity to solve that? Manalah tahu tiba-tiba one of the students actually came up with a floating city? No. Technology is there. That is one. Second is that by 2048, you can no longer enjoy seafood because we have fished them to death. That's a problem, right? People are turning vegan right now. I'm turning vegetarian. Okay, and I'm a Muslim. Because, why? I turn vegetarian because 60% of sources of carbon emission in the world is caused by cow farts. Kentut lembu. Korang gelak? Yes, it's true. So and then that is from industrialized demand of people actually wanting meat. So how do we actually solve that? By stopping eating meat. And there is now alternative of soy-based meat, which is very delicious actually, and quite cheap. So if you never tried vegetarian food, please try it now, right? You never know. And sekarang ni ada trend about people going sustainable, baju yang orang pakai, everything are recyclables and whatnot. Those are going the uptrend because younger generations, they know because of the previous generations' speed and industrialized opportunities, they are inheriting not just the wealth, but also the challenges. So usually the trend comes from younger generations. Right guys? Cool? Okay, younger generation. Okay, I'm 28. Youth, UNDP punya definition of youth is until 35. So I have like what? 8 years? 6 years? I'm bad at maths. Cikgu bahasa Inggeris kan? Okay. Okay, now let's go into the session, future-proofing your students. Now, for the veterans, previously United Nations has millennial goals, correct? Now, but the difference is millennial goals is that it's not enforceable. This is the second version of the millennial goals, which is Sustainable Development Goals. They have 17 of them. But this one, what makes it different from millennial goals is that it's enforced and forced by United Nations onto countries that signed these goals. And Malaysia, I'm proud to say, we are actually signed that. And that's the reason why everything that is being worked on is based on this. Now, if you look into the numbers and whatnot, can you imagine that 60% in Malaysia doesn't have access to clean water and sanitation? 60%. And that mostly from Sabah Sarawak. So those are just a tip of the iceberg shape, right? Tip of the iceberg of what data can tell you, and that research has been done for 40 years. It was done 40 years ago. And then they come up with a research saying that, hey, you guys are having these challenges. So they actually comprise 17 sustainable goals with more than 200 to 300 points. So we are going to concentrate on this. Quality education. What is quality education? In terms of access of education, in terms of... right now, stateless children in Malaysia, kids that is not in schools, are more than 500,000. This is born from refugees. These are people that is being brought from the refugee punya ni. Belum lagi masuk modern slavery. Okay? Who do understand modern slavery? Okay. Modern slavery is when you are being brought out of your country illegally to do work. Malaysians have 70% chances of being a modern slave overseas. Australia is doing to us what we are doing to Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, Indonesians. Yes. That is something that we should teach in schools. That's something that we should actually selit masuk dalam kita punya course outline lah, kata kan, lesson plan. To tell them to put into data what are you guys learning in terms of context. So that teach students, when you guys are becoming teachers, when you go back to schools, teach your students to become problem solvers. And this is what this second part of the session will actually go into. So, 3 things that I will actually cover in moving towards the future. Alright? Personalized automation and AI, sustainability, and blended learning. Okay, I guess blended learning, cikgu-cikgu dah tahu, always use. You guys will probably have learned this in methodology classes, right? Alright. So, what is personalized automation? I talked about how teachers will actually lost their jobs, right? Because of computers. Now, this generation might not see it, but you guys, the moment you guys graduate, you will face challenges. Because schools started employing AIs. Probably not in Malaysia lah. I would say, safely, we're not going to be facing this in the next 35 years. That's probably it, because governments are notoriously, coming from government, they are very hard to make changes. Look at the effects of nak invite cikgu-cikgu datang pun kena daripada top-down approach, right? But the one that trends that is currently presenting is basically an outlier because they are bottom-up from schools in Europe, in Western countries. Even in Thailand. Thailand are so way ahead of us. And the thing about Malaysians, I think we, from an ego perspective, we think we're better than Indonesia and Thailand. But they are way better than us. And this is something that I think I need to emphasize, that look at pengambilan padi. Thailand could actually, in annual, can take up to 6 to 8 times per year. Kedah, Perak, and our paddy productions can only take 4 times per year. And they guarded that secret. It's a trade secret. Thailand punya government, I'm not going to share this with anyone. Indonesia, they have the land mass. And people are self-taught there. They learn skill sets on their own. So as you look through these notes, 2030 is basically what data are implementing. Now, teachers, how many can you safely say that I use data to actually monitor my students' attendance, or my students' progress, or my student behavior? That they can. So it's something that, and for you guys to actually do innovation, I understand it's really, really difficult because I've been there. And for any innovation like leapfrog, school internet, semua ada, kroni-kroni. Off the record, yeah? Okay. So, but this is something that I'm a radical, honest person. Okay, I tell it how it is. But schools, you should not treat as a blanket methodology. Like, you can't teach the whole class the same thing. And data would actually help you in monitoring students individually and how do you approach them as teachers. That's the first step, because you are teaching computers how to do it. Then computers will take over so that you could actually ask the bigger question. What do you want to do in life? Something that if students tanya computer balik, can't answer. But teachers can. Teachers will actually sit down with you. Kenapa apa? They will come mentor-mentee. So I'm not saying teachers will lose jobs. They will evolve into something else. People are afraid industrial revolution will actually cause jobs, loss apa semua bagai. But here, I'm going to tell you that you need to evolve. Okay? Example, exhibit A. Because when I graduated, I dapat scroll. The moment naik turun, and I was like, that's it. I graduated. It's that emptiness feeling that nobody...
Hadirin yang dihormati, selesai sudah program Bicara Revolusi Industri 4.0 bersama Magic pada hari ini. Ucapan tahniah buat semua hadirin yang memberi kerjasama serta sanggup tunggu sehingga majlis selesai. Semoga anda semua dapat memanfaatkan ilmu yang diperoleh di dalam bicara ini dan berkongsi dengan rakan-rakan lain yang tidak dapat turut serta dalam program ini. Bunga dedap di atas para anak dusun pasang pelita. Kalau tersilap tutur bicara, jemari disusun, maaf dipinta. Sekian sahaja untuk kali ini. Mohon maaf dari pihak kami sekiranya ada terkasar bahasa, terlanjur bicara sepanjang mengendalikan majlis sebentar tadi. Sesungguhnya yang terbaik itu datangnya daripada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala dan kekurangan itu adalah kelemahan diri kami sendiri.
Sebelum pulang, dijemput tuan penceramah serta VIP untuk menjamu selera di Cafe Teltra. Sekian sahaja daripada kami. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera.